This is my review and recap for Dexter Season 1, Episode 6, entitled Return to Sender. With this episode, we don't have a Dexter kill or a target in this particular episode. What we do have is a few storylines. We do have quite a bit to do with the ice truck killer, and we have a little bit to do with LaGuerta, and also a little bit to do with Deborah. So most of these things are intertwined because you find out, one thing I forgot to mention in the last episode was that at the very end, when Dexter was leaving the junkyard, there was somebody inside the trunk of a car, and you could see the eyeball of that individual. So this episode starts with a body being found at the junkyard, and it happens to be the wife that Dexter killed in the previous episode. She was laid out in the trailer that Dexter had killed them in, and the only way that could have happened is if the ice truck killer had followed Dexter out onto the water where he had dumped the bodies and retrieved the bodies to set him up. So Dexter is thinking that, while he knows the ice truck killer is playing a game with him to see how much he can take and if he can get himself out of this situation. So the department shows up on scene, and Masuka actually notices a pin mark in the neck of the girl and does some research later in the episode and finds out that it's a heavy duty tranquilizer for tranquilizing, large animals. And so Dexter has to actually go into the records of the GBCD and erase the information that would lead back to him purchasing tranquilizers. Well, the person that was actually in the trunk, when they're there, they find this individual, and it's a Cuban boy. And they take him back to the department to see what he's seen. Now, this really worries Dexter, and Dexter starts to wonder if he's finally going to get caught after all the people that he's killed, and that this Cuban boy could be his downfall. Dexter's sister, Deborah, actually comes up with a theory about who this person was that killed this woman. Kind of a copycat to the ice truck killer, and actually makes it look like it could be someone just like Dexter, a white guy in his mid-30s, with some kind of a complex of having to compete with somebody else. Deborah gets upset at Dexter because Dexter doesn't want to back her up on this, obviously because of her theory. It would target him. So he tells her she should not introduce that information to LaGuerta. She does anyway, and then later on you find out Dexter gets really worried because of this. He is about ready to go into hiding. He grabs all of the stuff that he uses to kill people. He grabs his slides. He takes everything he has, and he's going out to the ocean to dump this. Now, this was my one issue with this episode. If he was going out there to dump this stuff and the ice truck killer has been following him, what's to keep the ice truck killer from grabbing all the stuff that he dumped into the ocean? So that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But he was about ready to dump his slides. And he opens it up and he starts looking through it. And he gets to one of the slides and he notices that there's a smiley face in it. The same smiley face that has been drawn on some of the pictures when the ice truck killer had broken into his apartment. So he has an idea that he's going to concoct to get the police department off of his trail and on to somebody else, to make it actually look like the husband had killed the wife. So Dexter takes that slide and ends up getting some of the DNA, and he plants some stuff, takes one of his knives, and takes the DNA of the husband and puts it on that knife as well as the wife. And he hides it in the junkyard so that they will go and do another search. And they did go do another search. They found the knife, and again, they pinned it on the husband. So Dexter was able to save himself. Now, during this episode, there was also a concern with Dexter because the little boy had seen him. And the little boy was working with some artists to get a render. Well, at the very end of the episode, that render goes around to everybody, and everybody's shocked at what it looks like. Because at one point, Dexter actually goes in to the interrogation room and sees a part of the drawing and notices that the eyes are identical to his. And so he was really worried. Later on, you find out that the kid actually drew a picture of Jesus Christ, and that went around and made the rounds with the department. So Dexter was completely in the clear by the end of this episode. But he knows that the ice truck killer is definitely playing some serious games with him. So there's going to be some stuff that goes down here pretty quick. So the end of this episode marks the exact center of this season. It is the middle. We're now going to be on the downward swing of the rest of the story. And I will have the review for the next episode sometime in the next couple of days. I do appreciate everybody tuning in. If you're enjoying the recaps, know that I'll be doing this for every single episode for every season leading up to the new release of the new season coming in 2021. So Showtime's got another season of Dexter coming for people who don't know. You probably got that from the title of my videos, but if you're here, I appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you will get notified anytime I have new videos go up. I do appreciate it. Have a great rest of the day.